Another crazy week. Maryland's legislature passes a marriage bill, a lawsuit widens in New Jersey, the governor of Hawaii comes out for equality, and a huge victory in a federal case against DOMA. Lately we've been racking up so many wins, it's getting hard to keep up. At the American Foundation for Equal Rights, I'm Matt Baum, and welcome to Marriage News Watch for February 27, 2012. Let's start with this week's big news in the Prop 8 case. The Prop 8 proponents have officially challenged our victory at the Ninth Circuit. Now the court will have to decide whether to grant them a rehearing or deny it. If it's denied, the proponents would probably take their case to the U.S. Supreme Court. Either way, AFER expects its string of victories to continue uninterrupted and won't stop until we've achieved full federal marriage equality. And even though our case hasn't reached its conclusion yet, it's already having a profound impact across the country. This week, judges in two separate cases handed down major victories for marriage equality, and both rulings heavily cited our recent Ninth Circuit victory. The first case is a lawsuit involving DOMA, the federal ban on marriage. For a thorough breakdown of the ruling, Ari Ezra Waldman's article on Toll Road is required reading. But the important takeaway is that the ruling was a win on every possible level. The judge declared that LGBTs are entitled to a very high standard of protection under the law, that DOMA serves no purpose, and that you can't discriminate against a group of people simply because of tradition. This is a monumental ruling, the foundation of which was laid by AFER's case. The second victory this week was in Maryland. Last year, the legislature narrowly failed to approve a marriage equality bill, but this time around they've given it the green light. The bill now goes to the governor, who supports the measure, and from there, a likely referendum in the fall. Polling in Maryland is very close, with 51% in favor of equality to 44% opposed. That's about where the Prop 8 campaign was at this point in 2008, so it's possible that Maryland could lose marriage equality before it even starts. A new survey in Washington shows similar levels of support, with 50% in favor of equality to 46% opposed. We're closer than ever to winning marriage in both those states, but we've still got lots of work to do to protect our recent victories. And let's not forget about New Jersey. There, a judge expanded a lawsuit over the state's discriminatory marriage laws to include questions of federal law. That will allow lawyers to argue that banning marriages for LGBT couples violates the U.S. Constitution. Again, the basis for that ruling was AFER's case, which the judge heavily cited. Elsewhere in the country this week, the governor of Hawaii has stated that the state's ban on marriage equality is unconstitutional. Orlando lawmakers are moving forward with a domestic partnership registry. Minneapolis Lutheran groups voted to oppose an anti-equality amendment on the ballot this November, and Common Cause Minnesota has filed a formal complaint against the backers of that amendment, alleging falsehoods in campaign finance reports. A new report in Colorado shows that the pending civil union legislation could generate $4.8 million in the first 3 years. For that reason, and others, the measure has picked up an unprecedented level of support among Colorado Republicans. Internationally, the Prime Minister of Australia said this week that marriage equality is inevitable, even though she herself doesn't support it yet. Professor M.V. Lee Badgett, who is one of AFER's witnesses in the Prop 8 case, reported that marriage equality would generate around $100 million for whichever Australian state legalizes it first. And meanwhile, the state of Queensland began issuing civil union licenses this week. And while we work to turn the tide of public opinion in the U.S., a new survey in Ireland shows that 73% of voters favor marriage equality. Those are the headlines. Visit us over at marriagenewswatch.com for more on all these stories and more. And visit afer.org to sign up for news alerts on the case to overturn Prop 8. Next weekend is the LA premiere of 8, the new play by Dustin Lance Black about the Prop 8 trial. Visit 8theplay.com to find out more about the show and to find a performance near you. At the American Foundation for Equal Rights, I'm Matt Baum. We'll see you next week.